folks, welcome to Project Motor Racing from Streetfall Studios and Giant Software. So this is early access, so I'm going to be able to give you a bit of a preview of what the game looks like now. Some caveats. I am not a sim racing content creator. I am a farm sim player and I play on controller, and I am not a great driver. So if you want sim racing content, feel free to click off the video and go find someone else. There are a bunch of people that are going to be releasing sim racing content on this game, and you'll probably have a better experience watching them. If you want to find out what this game is like to play for someone who is a normal gamer, who likes a casual gaming experience, wants to play on controller, you're in the right place. I have tried games like iRacing and things like that, and I struggle to drive in those games. I struggle to get more than a coherent lap, and that will give you an idea of the kind of player that I am. I'm okay-ish in the Gran Turismo type games. I haven't played those regularly since games like Gran Turismo 5, so that should give you an idea of the kind of gamer that I am. If that's the kind of content you want to see, you're in the right place. If it's not, click away, go search for someone else. Cool? Okay, we're going to be playing the career mode because I want to try and experience that and see what it's like to play. I figure that's a good way for me to experience the game because I'm not used to creating content on motor racing games, so it'll get us through the game in a way that we can experience it. So far, all I have done is play one race. In a free race, I've tried to start a career and had some issues, so we're going to try again and see how we get on. So we're going to delete the one that exists, or we'll do a new career and we'll try again. So welcome to the Project Motor Racing career mode, your motor racing journey. You can choose from 3 continents. Where you are affects how much it costs to travel to different locations, essentially, from what I get. And you will be charged for travel and repair costs after each weekend. And you're essentially trying to run a motor racing business. You use your winnings and sponsorship to fund that business, and there's different sponsorship options which we'll look at in a bit as to how you get paid. Yeah, they recommend that you have it on authentic mode, which is 100% difficulty and you can't restart. You can customize it, and I'm going to customize it a little bit because I'm not very good, and I'm going to turn down the difficulty a bit, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So let's jump in. I'm going to change to Europe because I'm based in the UK, if you can't tell from my accent. Sponsorship model. So we have rolling billboard. So this is essentially you're paid to have ads on the car. Competitive, you're paid a bit more as long as you're paid a flat fee, but you get a bit more if you finish on the podium. That's not us. Ambassador, you get a flat fee and you get paid a bit more if you don't get any damage. That's not us. This one, they will pay your event fees. Not too fussed on that. If you're going to win, not us. Going to do well in the championship, not us. And cover the full event of your damage. We're going to go for rolling billboard, essentially, because that gives us some guaranteed amount of income. Starting budget, I'm going to go for 2 million because that gives us a ton of cash in case we screw up and need to pay for lots of repairs. So, and then difficulty, I'm going to go classic because I want to set down to 70%. So this is what Straightforward recommend if you're a noob and playing on controller. Is 70% AI difficulty. And I'm going to set the race length to a half so we can try and get through this a little bit quicker. Car, I want to use the MX-5. It's interesting that it's defaulted to that because that's what I picked when I tried to go through this last time. But it hasn't kept the livery that I want, which is the red one. So you can create custom liveries in the game. I'm not sure how you do that, so I'm sure people will be showing that off at some point, but that's the car we're going to go for. And then event calendar, we're going to go for the United Kingdom MX-5 trophy. And let's enter the race and see how we get on. So, yeah, as I said, and don't produce sim racing content. If you want to see that, go watch someone else. If you just want to see how a normal casual gamer gets on playing, you're in the right place. So it's a 4-lap race of what looks like a fairly short circuit. Don't know how this event's going to be structured. I'm assuming we're going to get some sort of practice and a qualifying, and yeah. So 10 minutes practice, 10 minutes quali, and a 4-lap race. Sounds good to me. So I have driving aids turned on. So we've got traction control, ABS on. I've got auto gearbox on. And the very first time I tried, so I've done one race. The very first time I tried to pull out of the pits on this game, I crashed. So that might give you some idea of my driving skills. I need to turn down my headphones a little bit. But off we go. Now, I have to resist the temptation as a farm sim player to try and plough the fields, as the car just immediately wanted to go do. I do have the racing line on because I don't know the circuits at all, and I don't know any braking points. So yeah, let's just see if we can get around the track, get a few laps in at some sort of pace, and yeah, I have very low expectations for coming out of this. As long as we can finish a race, I can show you the game. You can see what it's like playing on controller as someone who's not a sim racer. That's my goal. You know, you'll be able to watch loads of people play this game, loads, over the coming few days before the game comes out, and get lots of people's views on what it's like to play with all sorts of different setups. So for information, I'm using an 8-bit Do controller, plugged into my PC through a cable. You know, I'm not a sim creator at all. I do have a steering wheel. I have the Thrustmaster steering wheel. I don't use it. It was brought for playing farm sim. I used it a few times, but I'm a keyboard and mouse gamer. I do a lot of my gaming on a laptop, on keyboard and mouse. So that'll, yeah. But in the past, I was a console gamer. I was a PlayStation gamer. So, you know. And that's why I used to play the Gran Turismo games. And I was really hoping that this game would be a good PC way of getting into playing racing games again. That wasn't that super, like, every PC racing game that I've tried has been, I've tried a few of them, and it's like the minute you make a mistake, you're going backwards across the grass, and certainly on controller, and I just couldn't enjoy them. And yeah, this one I'm finding much more enjoyable. So finding it much more enjoyable. I do still suck, you know, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna claim to be the best at playing this kind of game. I can't analyze it in a spreadsheet. That's what I like doing. So, but equally, I think that I could sit and play this on my laptop with the controller and have fun. And not have to be super alert, super awake. Oh, dude, what are you doing? As they say in Days of Thunder, Robin's racing. And he certainly just rubbed one out then, didn't he? So we are currently 12th out of 12. So I assume that this race game mode has damage on, because they talk about having to pay for repair of damage. So I do need to not be as aggressive as I can be. But probably I'm thinking that I might end it after this lap and get into qualifying. So, see how we fare on lap time. Give me that one. Return to pits. There we go. Magic. And we're back with qualifying. Bit of an interrupt and had to restart the game, and that meant I lost some stuff because I didn't realise how to get back to where I was. That's me, that's not the game. So let's see if we can set a qualifying time now. Hopefully we can. I'm not planning to use the whole 10 minutes because I would like to actually get in and do a race. Oh, come on, buddy. Probably I will just try and do a hot lap of some time because realistically I'm unlikely to be competitive. Let's be honest. Maybe we'll try and do a couple of hot laps. I don't know. So something I've noticed, well, not noticed, something with this car, you can't have anything other than hards or wets. So no soft tyres to run for qualifying, or the short races that we're doing. So that's a thing, and I guess I need to be a bit gentle while we get some warmth into the tyres. But as I said, I'm not a sim racer, I'm a farm sim player, and I'm a pretty awful driver on that as well. So yeah, we'll just see what we can do, and over time we'll get better, because I do kind of want to play this game a little bit and just see how we can do. And if I can do okay, that'll be good. And if not, I'll hopefully have some fun and maybe progress out of the super easy MX-5 into some of the more interesting cars that are in the game, and move away from having the career mode on the easiest possible setting of having loads of money and the AI on not very hard. Probably, you know, if I set the budget on a much lower number, so we had to actually earn money to buy more cars, that would be a bit more fun, you know. At the moment, I suspect I could just buy the next car that I wanted and carry on in it, whatever. I am just hoping that I can get through a race without completely trashing the car, because the reason I gave this a huge budget is to try and get through a season without going bankrupt. Because, yeah, the sponsors are not going to get good value for money out of us. We'll do what we can do, we'll get where we can go, and yeah, in terms of how the game is, I can't review the game. It's part of the deal of the early access. So, but we're allowed to play the game, we're allowed to show the game off, and that's what I'm going to do. And the way that I'm choosing to do that is through the career mode, because it's a part of the game that I think is kind of cool and kind of fun. I guess Gran Turismo essentially has that because of the way that it feeds you through the game as well. And it was a feature that I always liked of Gran Turismo as well, in that you developed through the different levels of racing. And I guess with the way you can set this up, you could just go in with loads of stuff. And so I like to tinker with games, and this game is based on the same engine as Farm Sim, and I'm assuming that in the same way you could probably go into the save game and tinker. So if you ran out of money, you could probably go into the save game files and tweak them a bit and give yourself more money. And Project Motor Racing is a game that is moddable, and I'm assuming that there will be mods that let you do all sorts of things as well. So, and I'm assuming that very quickly there will be mods that do that kind of thing. particularly on PC. So now, if you're new to, I guess, Giants games, I'm assuming this is going to hold. I don't know, because I don't know whether it will need to be a thing for Project Motor Racing. But in Farm Sim, there are two different types of mods. There are like vehicles and equipment and that kind of thing, and then there are mods called script mods, and those are not allowed on console because the console manufacturers don't want that kind of mod, because they can be used for cheating essentially, and so they limit those kind of mods being allowed on the platforms. God, I'm way off the pace. So it's kind of harder to race and talk at the same time as well. I'm going to blame it on that. I'm 5 seconds off the pace, jeez. So it might be that those kind of mods can't be on console, and I don't know if Giants /Straight 4 plan to have the same split that they have on Farm Sim, where they have some mods that are PC only and some that are cross-platform. Whether there will be in the same vein that there is, I'm pretty sure there will be, because I've seen that you can already have it where you can, in the game files, you can tell Project Motor Racing to use a different mod folder to the standard one. Whether there will, I'm sure there will be websites where for PC you can download unofficial mods. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure it will be possible to modify the save games if you run out of cash and that sort of thing, and change bits and pieces to make it viable to rescue your failing racing business and make more money. What idiot left that traffic cone in the middle of the racetrack? That doesn't seem safe. Oh, that would have been me. That would have been me. But yeah, anyway, I think we'll call it after this lap, however we're doing, and we'll get ourselves into the race, because I could do with actually turning this into a video folks can watch, rather than just be recording and editing and stuff. So let's not throw it away right on the last corner. I almost did. Yep, I did completely. Oh, that's stupid. Oh well. Let's return to the pits and progress to the race, shall we? Me too, buddy. Me too. Me too. Hey, at least at the back we can't crash into anyone else, so there is that, you know. Good luck, mate. Take it in gear and try not to do what I did last time and completely screw the start up in my first race. Well, at least that's, yeah, to the first race that I did, which is available on my Patreon if you're interested in that. I false started, so that was a thing, because I didn't realise that it wouldn't, you know, it would let me do that. So I just stuck it in gear, nailed the throttle, and yeah. If I can keep it on the track, maybe we'll be okay? Question mark? Let's just try and keep it on the grey stuff and give her, as they say, and see how we do. I think that's a good goal. Keep it on the grey stuff. That would be success, I think. I don't think I can do that for 4 laps, but you know, we'll see what we can achieve. Heavy damage. Okay. What does that mean? Also, what does heavy damage mean? Oh, good. Let's try driving from this camera angle, shall we? See if that's any better. Yeah. This is what happens when you give someone who plays a farming game a racing car. It's not good. Oh no, we don't like this camera angle. Let's go back to that one. Yeah. As I said, folks, if you're here for really good, smooth racing, you're in the wrong place. I'm not that driver. But equally, if you want to see what it's like for someone who's not going to give you really smooth, awesome racing, playing on a controller for the first time, well, second time, this is my second race, then this is what the experience is going to be for you. If you want to judge should you spend your money or not, then this is what you're going to see, you know. If you do choose to spend your money, then there'll be a link down below to use my partner code if you want to buy it through Giants. You help me out a little tiny bit, that'll be awesome. Would be very much appreciated. But yeah, 3 laps onto lap 3. We'll see if we can at least close the gap. I guess it's probably unlikely because I was way off the pace, and I guess we were at least holding pace when I was with the group. But now that we are not with the group, that's going to be harder. So, but see if we can at least not screw up too much more, and not do any more damage to the car, because heavy damage on the first lap was maybe not a good look. Oh well, la vie, folks, la vie. And if you're probably a bunch of new people here, say la vie. Yes, I know that's not what they mean, but I find it funny. So, la vie, folks. You'll, if you stick around, you'll learn that the jokes are awful and they don't get any better. There we go. No, no, still can't get around that corner. Why can't I get around those corners? Oh well, we'll learn eventually. We've got 2 races to do here, so we will learn eventually. Wow. Why aren't I winning? Because I'm inconsistent. That would be it. And that kind of happened in my first race. I set pole on that in quali, and then instantly dropped to like 10th, and then finished in not quite last. I think there were 2 cars behind me. They were a long way behind me. But, you know, it shows that I've got potential. I just need consistency. And if I can find that consistency, we can do better. I just need to do that, you know? That would be good. Or at least on the same lap as them. There are, but we had the best lap by a long way. So, you know, we earned $4,000 on how much damage we did to the car. So yeah, that's the first race. So there's a loss of $90,000. It's good. Good. You know? It's good. Yeah. Yeah, minus 91,000. Okay, that wasn't what I expected. Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there, folks. So, while that car looks trashed, I kind of like this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play. I just need to get some practice. On relatively easy difficulty, I can hold my own if I don't crash with a controller. If you think this looks interesting, then, I guess go check out a bunch of other people. Loads of people will be playing this game over the next few days. I'll leave a link down below if you do want to pick it up using my partner code, and I'll see you all next time.